We say welcome to conference week 2024, everybody. And yes, we're even doing the Pac-12. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. I messaged Mayhem Matthew. I talked a little bit with Joey. Um, especially here's the thing. I'm not mad necessarily. I guess I am. I thought we had it set up to where it was gonna be those two for the show. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link, and if anyone at any point wants to chime in to talk the Pack 2 at this point, feel free to. But I do have, I did have some questions that I think I just got to answer myself, honestly. And there's a lot of different directions. Well, not really. I mean, there's directions we want to go this week. We still got other shows to do. We still got other guests. A lot to talk about. With the Pac-12, let's just go ahead and get it out of the way on Monday. I still consider them Power Five because it's kind of what I grew up with was the Pac-10, Pac-12, and then you have the Big 12, the ACC, the Big 10, the SEC. So to me, it's still a conference at this point. There's still at least two teams, right? And we'll talk a little bit about how those two teams could end up leaving. I do have a preseason pick between the two. If there even is going to be a conference championship game, and there probably will be. There probably will be for the Pac 12. The first question I had today before, it all kind of went downhill. Teams leaving. You got Washington State and Oregon State that remain. What's their mindset? My opinion, the mindset of Washington State and Oregon State is they want to shut us up. Think about it. Why haven't they left yet? Because they can't strike a deal? Maybe, possibly. Because they love the West Coast. They love West Coast football. They love all this. Maybe. You see, those two teams remain. They're not bad brands either, especially Oregon State today, right? Now, they lost their head coach, Jonathan Smith, to Michigan State. I forget who's at Washington State, too. But Washington State's fallen off ever since, and at least from what I've seen, Mike Leach left. May he rest in peace now. But it is interesting. They're still kind of recruiting pretty good. When you look at the overall rankings for 247 Sports, you got beaverblitz.com, Oregon State 2025 football commits. They're 70. 70. I think that's okay. That's decent for Oregon State. You look at Washington State, it's 95th, 95 in the composite and the overall rankings. And who Washington State has, they have three commits. Austin Simmons, a 3-star. Luke Webb, a 3-star. Elijah Tucker, a 3-star. Oregon State, Elijah Washington, 3-star. Cordy Glass is a running back, is a 3-star. Noah Thomas is an offensive tackle. He's a 3-star. Jeremiah Lone or Ione. I can't really tell if that's an I or an L. Well, it's capitalized. It's an I. I'm sorry. Of course it is. Get it right, Ballard. Jeremiah Ione is a linebacker, 3-star for Oregon State. I look at this and I say that's pretty good for those teams. But you also got to think they're not going to go any further with this recruiting, in my opinion. You got Trent Bray coming in to replace Jonathan Smith, right? And then at Washington State, you have Jake Dickert, who's the head coach, and you look at those two guys and you say, "Man, we got to do something this year." Pac-12's falling apart. Couldn't strike a media deal. Couldn't get it together. No one's on the same page. Everyone wants to leave, right? And I'm sure even still, I would say that Washington State and Oregon State want to leave. No one picked them up though. Not the ACC, they didn't call. Big Ten, they didn't call yet. SEC, dream on. Shout out to Aerosmith. But like, they're left. That's it. What's up, Nate? That is it. Uh, Wazoo and Oregon State, historically good brands, have had great success. Wazoo's fallen off. Oregon State actually on the climb. Or maybe not this year. Jonathan Smith's at Michigan State now. We'll see what Trent Bray wants to do and what he does end up doing. I mean, they, this is going to be bad. Let me show this to you. This is the FPI Football Power Index for the or for the Pac-12. I'm going to share this on the screen here. Let me see. This button here. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. It's two teams. Now, for those that are watching this and don't know what FPI is, it basically tells you how good a team's predicted to be. 5.3 and Washington State's a negative half. They don't expect anything from these teams. I'd love nothing more than to see these teams on their schedules have great success this year. Why not? I think we're pulling for. I think a lot of people are upset about the Pac-12 not striking deals and everything like that. And then when you look at it as a whole, like it's it's just falling apart. I'm trying to be positive with all this, but it's very hard to. The Pac-12, to me, I almost ended up skipping, but I said, no, you know what? I need to talk about the Pac-12 a little bit, right? So teams leaving, Washington State and Oregon State remain. What's their mindset going into 2024? What's the mindset of these two teams? Be the best and shut us up? Is that it? That's what I came up with because I look at this and I say, man, if they could run the table a little bit, if they could handle their schedule, and they still got to play like Oregon, the Civil War is not going anywhere. Washington's not going anywhere or anything like that. Like they still have their regular opponents. But holy cow, man. What do you do? What if let's play hypothetical for a second. What if one of these two teams hits 10 wins? 10. Let's look at schedules for a second. Let's look at Oregon State first. Let me do this. So you look at, I see back there, Nate. We'll get you in a second, buddy. We'll let you guys join today. So, okay, 10 wins for Oregon State. Is it doable? Idaho State, San Diego State, Oregon, Purdue, Colorado State, Nevada, UNLV. Look at this. Look at what they had to schedule. They play Washington State before Thanksgiving. Black Friday, they play Boise State. This is kind of a tough schedule, but it's doable for 10 wins, I think. They could beat California. They beat Nevada and UNLV. That's 3. San Jose State. No disrespect here, but the Air Force. What is that, 5? Can you get to a bowl? What do you do? What do you do with the Pac 12? Considering I don't have any actual guests lined up, I want to get Nate on here since he did hit the stream I like enjoying. But Nate, what do you think about the Pac-12 this year, man? 2 teams left, and it's I look at this schedule for Oregon State. My prediction is they probably just run through it a little bit at an extent. I mean, you got Oregon State, you got Purdue, or you got Oregon, you got Purdue. Those are probably losses. Colorado State, you could beat Nevada, UNLV, California. Like these are teams that they're just going to be better than.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just sad to see the conference just going down the, drain and see 2 teams in the conference. But yeah, I see 10 wins for Oregon State. So, I mean, it's
I
sad.
would agree. And it doesn't even matter. Here's the thing: it doesn't even matter what they get. Like,
No.
I think they're at a point. Is it possible that one of these 2 teams would have to go undefeated to get a 12-team playoff bid? I mean, isn't it going to be hard? Isn't it going to be hard to like judge a conference with 2 teams? A team goes 11-1, 10-2, something like that, which those type of teams could get in the 12-team playoff, but like there's 2 teams. Like, look,
Yeah.
I understand. Look at their schedule. Oregon, that's a rivalry game. It's not going to count towards a Pac-12 title. It's just not because Oregon's in the Big Ten. California, not going to count. Who else is on here? Let's see who else we pick on. Washington State. That's the only game that counts towards making a conference championship, which you're already just going to have to like this right here. This should decide the fate of the Pac 12. November 23rd, forget a Pac 12 championship. This game on November 23rd, winner take all right there. And it is in Corvallis, Oregon, home of the Beavers. If you're trying to talk, you're muted, Nate. Just to let you know.
Yeah. Sorry, my Wi-Fi kind of dookie on me. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, I agree with what you said. It's just, like I said, it's sad to see. It's we don't want like 2 teams in a conference, but it is what it is. Now, I actually wish that Oregon State could come into the Big Ten, but it's probably not going to happen. But because
I mean, that would be the landing spot, and we'll talk about the Big Ten later this week. I'll just go ahead and let you guys in on it. We got Mark Rogers scheduled for that one, so we'll talk about it with
nice.
him. But I don't know what to say about the Pac-12 other than it's just dead. It's dead until they can find the perfect, and I mean, you got to find the perfect move with group of 5 teams because you're not getting Power 5. But you go after some group of 5 teams,
Yeah.
you have a chance to revive this conference. I say go after like San Jose State. You see San Diego State here on the schedule. That's like the number 1 team that comes to my mind. They're out in California, the Aztecs. Pretty good brand in basketball. Made a Final Four recently. Not sure how they are in other athletics. If I'm being honest, I know football. They can make some bowl games and everything like that. But who else would you go after? Colorado State and maybe I don't know. I think that's more Big 12 type. Well, no, because Colorado came from the Pac-12. I guess you go after some of these other ends. Like, here's what you do, Nate, and let me let me add them back.
Sorry, I'm on my.
You're good. You're good. Here's what you do. You go to the states that you've had teams, and then you pick up the next big thing. Colorado State. You keep Oregon State, Washington State. You go out to California, you go get Fresno State or whoever out there, San Diego State,
Mm-hmm.
and you build this conference back up. And
Yeah,
eventually, if those teams, honestly, if they just keep playing each other and everything, you could get the Pac-12 into the college football playoff. Here's the thing: are there any Is it fair to say that like I bet you this? There's not a group of 5 team on the West Coast alive that would sit there and say, "I don't wanna go to the Pac-12." They wanna go above and beyond to be better, and they want to improve, don't they? What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I agree. Yep. Um, I agree. Exactly what you said. Um, I mean, I don't have anything to say, but I don't. I really basically you read my mind. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is dead, sadly. But um,
Oregon State's gonna do good, though. I mean, I think these teams will be pretty decent. I see for Oregon State here, some losses on the schedule. I think they beat that Washington State team. I think they win, quote unquote, the Pac 12 or the Pac 2. San Jose State, Boise State, Nevada, UNLV, they could beat these teams. They're pretty good. I think your losses, you're looking at Oregon. I say they lose that Purdue game. I also say uh, maybe Air Force. I don't know. I only see maybe 4 or 5 losses, 7-5, 8-4. And Oregon State, oh, they were a good team last year. Yeah, they lost their head coach. DJ went to Florida State. They had other guys leave for the draft and for the portal. And I mean, they have just fallen apart, man. So I think they barely get by to a bowl game and they barely go above 500. I'll put them at 7-5, maybe 8-4 could be doable, but they're not just going to run through the schedule.
no, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I agree. Um, I'm just
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just weird to see Pac-12 is down like that. It's just weird to see that. But
I have a lot
uh,
of respect to the point I did
like
this
you
show
said, they
today.
should
Like,
add
honestly.
Fresno State, uh, uh,
Yeah.
Boise State.
We'll get Nate back. I promise. We'll get him back on. Um, let me see. Hold on, Nate. We got you. Okay, you're good. So let's just I'm gonna clip this, but I got something to say. Let's just be honest. The Pac-12 is dead, and they have to go after these group of 5 teams. We were kind of talking about that a few moments ago. I think you hit up the Mountain West. I think you hit the San Diego States and Fresno States, Colorado State if you want. geographical location does not matter at this point because you got West Coast teams going to East Coast conferences and
Hawaii.
the Big Ten. You could hit Hawaii. I think that would work. The Rainbow Warriors. I said Boise State already. What are some others? What else can we go after? Memphis, SMU. Well, SMU, I think actually is going to. Aren't they
ACC.
going to the ACC? Yeah.
Yep.
So Memphis, Memphis could go somewhere and compete. I mean, look
Yeah.
here. I'm trying to give the Pac-12 the blueprint to how you fix this conference. You hit the big time group of 5 brands. And I know people are going to point and laugh, but holy cow, you could put together this conference. And if those teams are good enough, you can get back to where you say, hey, we got a conference champion. And then they get
Yep.
into here's the only part where it fails is if you make the 12-team playoff and never win a game. That's the only part where it fails. But come on, Boise State, Fresno State, SMU. Well, I keep
UAB.
mentioning SMU, but like UAB,
I think
that's a
actually
bit of
they
a
fell.
stretch. But
Yeah, they fell
what's
off a
that?
cliff. They fell off a cliff. I think UAB. But anyways, um,
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to football games when I go, but
hey, you can be loyal though.
uh,
But
yeah. I don't know, man. But I'm trying to help the Pac-12 out. There's a
yeah,
blueprint out there. There's a way to get it back and going. And we're going to do everything we can to talk it up. And we're going to help the Pac-12 because I don't want to see it die. No one wants to see it go. There's not a soul out there that says, I hate the Pac-12. You could hate them right now, but you would bet $1 million if I told you that this was good. If I like, I saw Josh Pate last week. He was talking about going 10 years into the future in college football and explaining 2024 to someone. And if I or going back to 2014 or oh, that's what it was. Going to 2014 and explaining in 10 years how the changes will work out. If I had gone back to 10 years and told you the Pac 12 is going to die off and you're only going to have Oregon State and Washington State, what would you have said, Nate? You probably would have lost your mind.
oh yeah,
You wouldn't believe me. You would have called me drunk. You would have, whatever.
yeah. I
I,
was
I
yeah.
just,
I would say that's cap. um, but
well,
yeah.
here's I mean, I'm reading something right now, which shout out to AI on everything, even Google. It says some say that Boise State. I mentioned that team. I remember that team because if they go to the Pac-12 at some point, credit to me. But Boise State's market isn't large and its national viewership is average, so it could be a logical choice for a move to the Power Five. That's what you want to target. You want to target the ones that don't get enough credit, the ones that don't get enough attention. Boise State's out there. Now, Boise State, here's the thing they get good numbers. They don't get great numbers. They don't get what Washington and Oregon are going to get in the Big Ten or what they got in the Pac 12 or whatever. Pick a Pac 12 team. They don't get that. They
No.
just don't.
Yeah. I mean, Boise State used to be pretty good with Kellen Moore. Um,
They're still
and
good today, even. Like, they've never really had a bad year in my lifetime that I can recall, at least.
no.
I
Uh,
mean, bowl game every year, Mountain West champs,
yeah.
competing for it year in and year out.
Mhm.
What's the head coach's name again? Is it hold on.
I don't know. I know it was Brian
That's the
Hartline.
thing though, but we know about Boise State. We
Yeah.
might not know who it is. We know who they are. Spencer Danielson's in his first season.
Oh.
Or at least Yeah. He's coming into his first season.
Where's he from? Like what? What?
I'll have to look at it. But here's the
Okay.
thing. Boise State even got a quarterback by the name of Malachi Nelson from USC. Did you see that
Ooh,
news?
I did not know that.
Yeah. And Spencer Danielson will be in year 2 with Boise State as the head coach. Um, he's been an assistant coach for a couple years. He came in 3-1 in 4 games last year, which is good.
Wow.
Kind of turned it around. Um,
Hopefully, Sharon Moore does that.
Let me tell you this too. Yahoo Sports put this out yesterday. They've been talking about Boise State recently, right?
hmm
Boise State, according to Yahoo Sports, generated $60 million. Or let me reread that actually. Let me tell you specifics. 60,653 and $9 between June 30th of 22 and June 30th of 2023. $60 million for Boise State generated in viewership and everything, revenue in a year. Why would the Pac-12 want to let that go? Why would they just like shake their head at that? Nah, we don't want teams like that. Yeah, you do. You need teams like that at this point.
They're just plain dead.
Yeah. Watch
Uh,
Oregon State and Washington State leave, and the Pac-12 picks up nobody. It's like that meme. I've brought it up before. Stop! He's already dead. Like, oh my gosh, man.
yeah.
So the questions that I had today, like, what's their minds? What is the Pac-12's mindset going into this year? Is their hair on fire? Are they running around in circles panicking? Or are they calm and saying, we got to prove everybody wrong to show them, hey, we still got it. What do you think, Nate?
I think it's pure chaos. It's like kind of combining with hair on fire. Uh, it's like the Pac-12 conference or what do we call it, meetings, or like not agreeing with each other. I mean, there's only 2 teams, but I mean, it's pure chaotic. I think.
Yeah.
But
And they know it too. Like they're not even trying to hide it. Like
no,
they have come out and said this is not good.
no.
uh, how
Um,
do you I mentioned a little bit of the 12 team playoff too. How is it affecting the Pac-12? Well, in my opinion, um, tighten up if you're Oregon State and Washington State. Like you're going to face each other at the end of the season, but you better win some big time football games and get your numbers up and hope for the best. I mean, if you're 11-1 or 12-0 or something, if they run the table, I don't think it's going to happen, nor do I think it can happen. But if it did, I mean, is the CFP going to say, well, it's only 2 teams in that conference? If one goes, uh, 12-0, like what? You can't leave that out. I don't think
no.
so.
It's kind of like the conversation like leaving out Florida State, and well, we all know how that went. Um,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like that situation. If you leave out like a 12-0 conference championship with 2 teams in it, I mean,
Here's the thing, though, is what I've read. And I have read a lot of reports that say the Pac-12 is not going to get an automatic bid. I've
wow,
heard that. Not that I've personally heard it, but I've kind of read some stuff online doing my research. The
yeah,
Pac-12 is not an auto bid for the CFP.
wow,
Um, between these 2 teams, if they do go head to head for the title game, and it most likely will be that, I would take Oregon State in a heartbeat over Wazoo, but I think it'd be a good game. I think it'd be close. Uh, I mean, there's so many different ways we could go with this for the Pac-12. But the bottom line is this for today, folks. And I mean this with all positivity and respect. I'm not trying. I hate to be the one to say this. I'm not the only one to say this either.
Nope.
The Pac-12 is dead.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not what it used to be. It used to be the Pac-10, and even that was amazing. And they bring
And
all these other teams in, and it's like, okay, cool. We got
e-
12 teams. What?
even the
Now they're all gone.
Pac-8 too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry, but not sorry. uh, but yeah.
Not sorry, Reese's. What's
Um,
up, Vic?
what's up, Vic? And by the way, did you? I know it's kind of off topic. I'm just gonna ask this real quick. Are you in the third round? I think for Lucas Got Talent.
Did they vote today? I don't know if I made it.
Um, I think Vic can
Well,
confirm.
I
But
sent in, I made it to round 2. I know that.
yeah,
So I sent in a video.
yeah. I just a quick question. But what's up, Amida? I don't um, but yeah. I somehow survived. Um, well, not somehow. Lou survived. Revived me from being eliminated. I actually got eliminated. Surprisingly, but I got revived by Lou. But anyways, back to college football. I mean, Pac-12 is already dead, but um, um,
Yeah.
but what do you think about? I don't know if you did a Nebraska prediction this year, but what's your thoughts on Matt Rule year 2? Is it improved?
I'm going to write that down so for Big Ten this week, I got the voice of college football, Mark Rogers,
Oh
but he's
yeah, yeah,
giving me 30 minutes. He's
yeah,
giving me 30 minutes. So maybe after I interview him, I could preview Nebraska. But
yeah.
I, uh, without looking at the schedule, if I had to pick a record off the top of my head, 5-7. 5-7.
I
Just
mean,
shy of a bowl game. I
yeah.
don't know.
I mean, they might do that again. I mean, it's possible, but it's like a show me till I believe it situation. I mean, um, but I'm hopeful for this year for Nebraska. I just want them to be in a bowl game. I mean, it's been a long
I think a
time.
lot of people do. I think a lot of people like Matt Rule, and I think a lot of people like Nebraska, especially being a big time, like historically good program, especially back in the 90s. Like, you know, they got to win the games early on, and then the later half of the season, if they have a losing streak, big time losing streak, it's not going to fly. I would say, well, I
Let me
this
just
is
tell you
Pac
this.
the Pac-12's dead. You
Yeah.
wanna look at their schedule, though? You wanna just we could transition to Nebraska if you want.
Well,
I'm trying very hard to stay on topic, but at the same time, like, what else are we
it's
gonna
just a
talk about
quick
Pac-12
question, but
wise?
yeah, just a
Yeah,
quick question. Yeah. Anyways, in Pac-12, or I mean Pac-2, I meant. um.
yeah.
Uh. Uh. You know, in the history in the pack, um, eh, uh, I think they had some really good history of football. I mean, it might not be hard hitting, but they had some good physical teams back then. To be honest, like Oregon,
Yeah.
what do you call Washington, USC used to be physical. Still soft today. um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Uh,
but yeah, I'm just saying what the teams they used to be in the Pac-12, but now it's Pac-2. But it used to be like kind of West Coast ish
What's up,
conference
Yankock
award.
Chuck?
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think West Coast football is kind of underrated in my opinion. But um,
No, it is because like everyone's focused on the bigger conferences, and I don't blame them. That's what's getting the attention. That's where the good time football is. But you mentioned West Coast football. Like, here's the thing. I don't know about you, and I don't know what the numbers are, but the Pac-12 after dark always having those late games, whether they were close or not. Like I stayed up to watch that Colorado State game
oh
last
yeah,
year. And
that
that
was
was a
awesome.
great dude, that was a great game. What was it? Double overtime or triple
Yeah,
overtime?
yeah, I
Something like
think
that.
so.
I stayed up for it. Like what why do they want to leave the pack? You're getting a lot of views, at least from me. Ballard's watching you. I promise. Okay? I am a
Yeah,
fan. So, like, it just, I never thought in my lifetime as a college football fan, I figured, maybe they could change conferences a little bit. I never expected that we would go to 4 big conferences and one would
no,
dissolve.
right.
And I
I
never
just
thought it would be the Pac-12 either. I don't know what conference I thought it would be. You could have made a case years ago because of Clemson's dominance that maybe it's the ACC. I don't know, but like I never thought I'd see this to the Pac-12.
yeah. Let's just say I know it's kind of weird, but let's just say um um in a weird situation. Well, that was weird. My point is, let's just say I know we all know the SEC is the big brother of all conferences. Uh,
Right.
I hate to admit it, but
I'm glad you
and
said it, Nate.
shut up. uh, uh, no, but no, it's true. But and I think well, what I was trying to point out here is just you're literally and all of us are literally forgetting the little brother of the Power Fives, the Pac-2 or Pac-12, whatever we call it.
Back to
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I think it's always been that. Has it been that way for a while though, and we just didn't
yeah,
know it? Like until they started leaving, and then it's like, wait a
hmm
minute.
Eight.
It's
Yeah,
like look at it. It's been Oregon, it's been Washington. It's been Oregon, it's been Washington. It's been USC. Even though they
yeah,
haven't made the CFP, they've kind of been on that rise a little bit. Now they're gone. UCLA's gone. Like anyway, it's
yeah.
chaos. Good to see. What are your thoughts on the Pac-2 and that?
right, right. Well, I thought that the Big 12 was going to be the conference to go away after the SEC took Texas and Oklahoma.
Now, what was your thoughts about
Yeah,
the
and we'll
Big
talk
Two?
about that. We'll talk about that later this
All
week
right,
on the Big 12
as
show because
for
like the Big 12 is like, yeah.
yeah, as for
Go ahead.
for Oregon State and Washington State, yeah, I think that they're gonna be mid this year. I think they're probably gonna. Uh, because they both have a lot of players who are leaving in the transfer portal, and the Oregon State's uh, got a new coach. So
Yeah,
Who do you think's the better team though going into this year? Because my vote's still on Oregon State
yeah,
right now.
I think Oregon State is still the better out of those two. Yeah.
yeah,
But it's close because think about it. Not only did they lose their head coach Jonathan Smith, they lost DJ Uyunglele and then a whole nother list of players to the portal.
yeah.
So, I mean, ugh, Pac-12, rest in peace.
I think that the Pac-12, what were they playing? Some Power Five teams, and they're playing some Group of Five teams. So
I mean, it's a good mix, but
Yeah.
it's not.
yeah,
It's not enough.
yeah, it looks like kind of like what they're doing is kind of like the BYU schedule when they were independent. It was like half of their schedule would be Power Five teams, and half of it would be Group of Five teams.
Which is
Look at this. I want to show you how bad this is. Like, so I use FBS schedules
yeah.
for my team previews and everything. And we did Oregon State a little bit, and I might go back and clip it. But look at this. Non-conference opponents. It will sort by non-con opponents. Look at that. That's like the whole schedule.
Yes, the whole schedule
Except
except
one
for
game.
yeah, the whole schedule.
That's not what.
Yes, the entire schedule is non-conference except when they play each other.
Hey,
Idaho State.
someone tell Oregon State to keep it in the conference.
Yeah, they got one conference game.
They literally have Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State is their only conference game.
Yeah. It's
I'm trying.
Hey,
Like
hey,
I said, I'm
Victor,
trying to be positive. Like I said, I'm trying to be positive about all this, but like, it's so hard because no one wants to see this. Nobody wants to see the Pac-12 dissolve like it has. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, you got Cal going to the ACC. They're not even on the Atlantic coast. They're on the Pacific coast, which is for what conference? The golly.
Did you see at the beginning of the show, Vic, where I was showing the FPI for the Pac-2? I didn't even know it could reach these numbers. But I guess when you only have two teams that don't play a conference schedule. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Now you compare that, and I don't want to jump ahead, but like Florida State's at a 15 in the ACC. What's in the Big Ten? 24.5 for Oregon, strength of schedule, power index, and all that. But the Pac-12, I mean, Washington State's at -0.5. It's fine, Nate. -0.5 FPI. Huh? I didn't even know that was possible.
Okay, I'm back now.
You're good. I was just talking about the FPI for these two teams. You know, we got 5.3 for Oregon State. You got teams in the 20s in the ACC and everything. Washington State's at -0.5.
Okay. So
God.
what are we looking at here?
The FPI, power index, scheduling and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, for the
like
Pac-2.
Like their strength of schedule or
Pretty much. Now, and again, I was explaining earlier what this is, and it tells you right here, but like the FPI is a strength, a team strength. And it's supposed to tell you how good they're going to be. Well, I don't know.
They give both teams over a 50% chance for 6 wins. No, now what's crazy is they're still in the Pac-12. No, neither team has a chance to win the conference. I mean, isn't it 50-50?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Oregon State has a 0.3 chance to make the national title.
To-
Washington State, 0. Playoffs, 9.8 for Oregon State, and the Cougars are at 3.2 to make the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, maybe I should.
So
Maybe.
that tells you everything right there. That they're not putting the Pac-12 in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We should. Guess someone should do a dynasty as in college football 25 as Oregon State or Washington State. Yeah,
Just rebuild them.
yeah. Try to.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. We'll see what these teams do this year because it's obviously not going to be too much. Let's see. I think I'm having some issues on my end because it looks like Vic was talking, but I couldn't hear him.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, it showed that your thing was moving, like when you talk, but I wasn't getting any feedback, but I hear you. So anyway, like I said, that's all I got. Any other comments, Vic, on the Pac-12 or the Pac-2, whatever we're calling it these days? Like, what do you? I don't know. Are there teams you want to see get in there, or I mean, really, any final words for them?
No, no, not really.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, buddy. We're gonna end the show.
All right,
See ya.
all right. See you.
All right. Thank you, Vic and Nate, for joining the show today. Not the best. Again, we were supposed to have Joey on today and Mayhem. Neither one can make it. So I appreciate Nate and Vic for giving me some conversation to have a little bit today. I think it was really good. We will hopefully be back tomorrow for the Big Ten, 11 a.m. Central Time. Mark Rogers, the voice of college football. I'm going to message him this afternoon, make sure we're still good. We should still be good for tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, right here on Ballard Sports Media for Conference Week 2024. Big Ten tomorrow, Pac 12 in the books. So we'll see you. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless. And we'll see you next time.